Here's a question for you, Reading fans. Who are Reading's rivals? And I think that for a lot of us, especially after the last 2 years of League One, people can quite quickly say, Oxford and Swindon. Swindon, we always sing about still with Tyler Bindon, obviously with his name rhyming with them. But one thing I love about the Tyrrellhurst end is that we have done a really good job of bringing in people from lots of different generations. And I think that the generation that you are as a Reading fan really impacts how you see the club in a massive way. The kind of teams that I, as a 30-year-old, have been used to seeing us play, and some of the younger members of the Tyrrellhurst end team have seen us play, in the last 20 years. They've been different from what came before. We haven't known, the third division or anything quite as well as, the championship, the Premier League and stuff like that. So for me, rivalries when I was a little bit younger and I was looking at teams that I wasn't a huge fan of, the first one that came to mind is West Ham, and that was just from a lot of ding-dongs with them in a period where Reading were playing really well. West Ham were, they felt like a team that made us look like the underdog. Even when they weren't in a particularly great state at that time. I remember lots of games against Kevin Nolan running the West Ham midfield and stuff like that on the way to the 2012 championship win. So West Ham are really up there. Obviously, they're the guys who assaulted Jimmy Kebe for pulling up his socks. They are really high up there for me. QPR, the fake hoops, the guys that don't know what a hoop shirt is meant to look like. Never really liked those. Was it for any reason other than they wear the same kind of shirt as us? No, probably not, but it is fun to call them the fake hoops. So that was really the one. And then in the last few years, I remember when Wycombe came up during the season that Pauno first had with Reading. And we were playing pretty well. And Wycombe were a team we were excited to see because it finally felt like we actually had a local rival in our league with us. So I think that, a lot of the older Reading fans might listen to this and be like, oh, what are you talking about? Swindon, Oxford, Wycombe, those are our rivals. They've always been our rivals. But for lots of us in the Reading fan base, I really think that we never really experienced too many battles with those teams, so we just don't have the history in the last 20 years with them that maybe other Reading fans from the Elm Park era and beyond can remember. So yeah, Reading, really interesting football club in that regard. Of course, the real answer here is that we are our rivals are Fulham. And it's the middle class derby. That was obviously a little bit easier to subscribe to when we had the Waitrose on the front of the shirt for a very long time. But obviously now it's Select Car Leasing, those excellent guys. So things have changed there a little bit. But hey, you still get a very nice car from them. So maybe it is still the middle class derby with us and Fulham. So anyway, weird little club, as per usual, Reading. And in this case, it's because our rivals is a little bit up in the air. Depending on what age you are, I bet you say something different for who our main rivals are. So put that down in the comments. Who do you think our main rivals are? And give us your age, just so we can think, what age group hates which team the most. So yeah, looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I'm Ross. This is why you should watch Reading.